you like my work and wish to support, please hit the subscribe, like, and notification bell. Share this video so we can push out into the algorithm. Join our Discord and join us every night 10:30 Central Time for Lavistro Plays, where we play games and build a community. Hello, this is Lavistro the Dragon of Cyberspace, coming at you with all news, tips, and tricks in the gaming universe. I just decided to share this report for 2019 of the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs' own Office of Research and Development regarding video games and how it helped veterans with PTSD. It's a long article, and I'm going to try and go through it as fast as I can. So let's continue. Study. Video games can help veterans recover from mental health challenges. May 22nd, 2019, by Mike Richmond, VA Research Communications. A recent study with a small sample of veterans trying to recover from mental health issues found that video games can help in overcoming such problems as PTSD and substance abuse disorders. Researchers conclude that although the impact of video games may vary based on the user, then the clinicians may wish to discuss video game play with their patients to help them optimize their use of game recovery to support recovery. Games may promote a mindfulness like psychological escape, but can also provide users with benefits of confidence, social interaction, personal growth, and opportunities for employment or even leadership, research says. Remember how in the last video, if you watched the last video, Liz Wheeler also shared a comment to justify her stance, saying that games are antisocial? Well, it seems like gameplay may promote a mindfulness like psychological state and also provide users with social connections, meaning the opposite of antisocial. Continuing on with the article, these benefits are accessible to people with disabilities for whom traditional treatments, leisure activities, or social interactions may challenged by circumstances or limitations. The gamers can be implemented in large populations very inexpensively, thus potentially very cost-effective recovery support or mental health treatment. Some participants research also knows describe using video games to distract them from overwhelming symptoms, including sushi thoughts and drug or alcohol use. The study included 20 veterans, 15 men and 5 women, who ranged from 25 to 62. 16 of the 20 vets reported they had PTSD or trauma-related symptoms. Most of the participants said they had more than one current mental health or behavioral health diagnosis, with PTSD and depression being the most common combination. 3 people had more than one type of trauma, such as combat or training-related trauma, military sexual trauma, or childhood sexual trauma. Dr. Calder Carras, a public health researcher, led this study which appeared in November 2018 in the journal Social and Science Medicine, with extensive research experience in video game play and in mental health recovery. He interviewed the veterans on the value of the games. She's also played video games and has recovered from her own mental health problems. In their journal article, despite the results, Calder Carras and the other 2 VA researchers in the study, Dr. Curry and Colleen Gillespie, identified themselves as being affiliated with Veterans Integrated Service Network 4, which includes areas of Pennsylvania and surrounding states, but didn't name a specific VA medical center out of concern of the participants' privacy. In the study, the game includes sports, puzzles, role playing, action, fantasy, and shooter games, but Colder Cards emphasizes that generate or specific game isn't what necessarily help with recovery. The benefits, she says, stem from the connections the veterans made with other video game players, the distractions they created for themselves by playing the games, removing their focus, for example, from alcohol, drugs, and the meaning they derived from the games. People often try to link specific types of video games with the specific outcomes. Calder Carter says, who at the time was affiliated with Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore. We didn't break down how we looked at games that way. Think of it this way: if you have a sports game, you'll be playing with either members of the same team or competitively. So right off the bat, you have 2 different ways that players can experience gameplay together. If you're playing a shooter game, you can play against people you don't know, or people you do know, or people you just want to know. Each one gets a really different experience. In their interview, participants reported that the games helped with several areas related to recovery, managing moods, relieving stress, adapting, coping, all that stuff. And it just carries on. It's a really long. I'm not going to try and carry it on. Like, it's really, really long. But I'm going to cover some things like a 53-year-old female veteran said the games helped her prevent alcohol relapse. She says sometimes when I can't take it anymore and it seems like it peaks my head, I'm going to drink, I'm going to drink, I'm plotting. It's hard to stop that thought when the lights up in my brain. I want to structure gaming into my day because, again, too much time on my hands leads to more chances for bad memories. And what's the use? So I've made a daily schedule. At this hour, I'm going to meditate for 15 minutes. Then I'm going to do this exercise DVD, and I'm going to have my gaming time today. Managing moods and relieving stress. 34-year-old male with physical and psychiatric abilities described how video games help to escape from the slow pace of life. I can't stand solitude, things being slow. I need flash of light, noise, 30 billion things going on at once. With games, sometimes you get to it, you forget to breathe. Another veteran described how battlefield simulations are perfectly allowed to draw on their strengths in military strategy. In return, two settings that may invoke feelings of exhilaration, pain, and trauma. Things make sense, a 33-year-old male said. You know, good, evil. Evil is evil. You stomp it out, we good. Another, a 46-year-old man explained relaxing and playing a sports game was an opportunity for casual and meaningful conversation. The, the most important thing to me now is just maintaining a good relationship with my family, and we do that through video games. I got a nephew who's graduating high school. He's thinking about going to college, and we're just talking about it as we're playing games. It goes on to even talk about how shooters are helpful. One of the questions Cold Cars asked a veteran in the interview if they thought shooter games could be bad for them. 10 of the 15-minute study described a shooter as one of their favorites. None of the five women felt the same way. So already right there, remember the Feng G comment about men and women with biological differences, their biological, remember when Feng G stated that biological differences of men and women could affect what games they choose, and IGN slandered him, defamed him for it. Well, it seems like the U.S. government and the United States Veteran Affairs study seems to agree with him that, according to this highlighting paragraph here, yeah, um, the shooters help the males but not the females. And if you want to read more on it, I'll have the link in the description. Uh, but it just goes on to tell you more about the research, and as a continuing research, I was part of it. Not this specific research, but an earlier one back in 2010 as a soldier. When they were first starting the studies up, one of the guinea pigs for it, and it's still a part of the core part of my therapy today with combat PTSD. But what are your thoughts, viewers? Has video games affected your lives in any shape or way? It doesn't have to be mental health. Has video games motivated you or changed your life in a certain way? Uh, have you felt positive effects on video games in your life? Put your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, happy gaming.